This cocktail is not for the weak. It's not for the people that will order a Malibu Bay Breeze or a strawberry daiquiri extra strawberries. Not that there's anything wrong with that. This cocktail is for the hardcore cocktail nerds out there. So if you think you're up for it, let's make Don't Give Up the Ship. If you want to skip the history lesson, just click the chapters in the description underneath the video. On June 1st, 1813, Captain James Lawrence, this guy, was mortally wounded on board the USS Chesapeake while fighting the British at the Battle of Boston Harbor. As the Brits were boarding his defeated ship, he bravely gave the order, "Don't give up the ship, fight her till she sinks." Easy to say for a guy that's dying. 2 minutes later, his crew gave up the ship. Fast forward about 130 years to 1941, and you can find a cocktail by the name Don't Give Up the Ship in Crosby Gaige's Cocktail Guide and Ladies' Companion. For the ingredients, we're going to use gin. I recommend a London dry style gin. An orange liqueur, I'm using Combier. Cointreau is also good for this one. Sweet vermouth, orange bitters, and Fernet. Fernet is an Amaro, which means it's a bittersweet liqueur from Italy. However, I believe that Fernet stands on its own. It stands out a little bit because it's a lot less sweet, definitely more bitter, and a lot more medicinal than most other Amari. But in small doses and mixed into cocktails, it can be a really interesting component. All right, you're gonna need a mixing glass of some sort, a jigger, julep strainer, and a spoon. You're gonna start off with 1 dash of orange bitters, 1/2 ounce of your orange liqueur, 1/2 ounce of sweet vermouth, 1/2 ounce of Fernet, and 1.5 ounce of your gin. Gonna get some ice for my mixing glass. This cocktail is going to be served up, meaning there will be no more ice in there in the glass to dilute it or any other mixers or anything. So it's really important that now that we stir this cocktail, that we stir it for long enough. I can't give you an exact time for how long to stir it because it depends on how big your glass is, how big your ice is, how good your ice is. So what you do is you grab a straw and you straw taste it while you go. That way you'll gauge it and see where you're at. And when you think it's ready, then you pour it into your glass. Julep strainer. Gonna garnish it with an orange twist. The only reason I know this cocktail is because at 2:30 a.m. on a Thursday night, a couple of years ago, while I was working at the Penrose Bar on the Upper East Side in New York City, one of the best places I've ever worked at, by the way, this guy comes in and he orders a cocktail called All Hands on Deck, which I didn't know. So he tells me about this cocktail and how All Hands on Deck is a modern mezcal version of this. And that's just how sometimes it works, you know, that's how you learn about new cocktails, which I appreciate. Anyway, let's give it a taste. This really is a boozy, complex cocktail. It's really good. And the Fernet is just there to kick you in the teeth on the end. So if you're into that, you know, this is for you. That's it for today. I'm Johan. Thank you for watching. Remember to hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll see you next week.